Okay, welcome to another video. I'm doing this video because I've had quite a few people ask me to explain better how to use the pfSense firewall as a VM inside the Proxmox machine to actually secure the same machine that it's running on, and everything else, of course. So this video will be more about the concepts and overall networking jargon will be used here. Of course, I will show you exactly what you need to do it, but the point is to actually make it more clear how it works and why is it secure, yeah, and how is it that we can actually use a VM to secure the whole machine, yeah. So the first thing I want to clear up is what is a frame and what are tagged frames, what does that mean, and what are untagged frames. So in networking, any kind of telecommunications, usually, by usual I mean almost all the time, there is a time slot on the medium, on the medium that's transferring the data, that's assigned to a certain frame. Inside this time slot, bits, let's call them bits, yeah. Let's abstract what's actually going on, but let's call them bits. Bits are, I'm just oversimplifying things so that you can have like a clear picture, yeah. So bits are traveling across the medium like in a sequential order, yeah. So it's called a frame because it's framed with the start and the end, yeah. So that's what a layer 2 datagram looks like. I'm not going to go into detail how exactly an Ethernet frame looks like. However, this is what we're going to be dealing with in this video. So you need to understand that the concept of a frame. Now, when VLANs were introduced back in the 90s, it allows a single switch or a single, let's call it a cable or an interface, to actually work with several networks, not just one. And how it works is by tagging the frames that we talked about a minute ago. If the frame is untagged, if it doesn't have a tag, a VLAN tag, that means that it's a default frame. That frame is actually what you're normally dealing with in your home or in your office. So those frames are untagged. This is the default VLAN, it's usually only one, yeah. On this particular interface there's only a single VLAN, and it's called a flat network. It doesn't matter for right now, but it's that's kind of the point. Untagged frame is just a fancy way of saying a default VLAN, yeah. And if we want to transfer another VLAN, another network, over the same cable using the same interface, then we have to put a VLAN tag on top of a inside the frame, yeah, so that the switch or the interface actually knows which network this frame belongs to. So using this concept, we can I'm going to show you here in this paint. We're going to use this. This is our own switch, owned by us. This is the internet, like abstracted billions of devices there on the internet are here. we're gonna be accessing from this user PC, which is a VM inside the Proxmox. The data will go to the pfSense VM and out through the switch to the internet and back. So how do we achieve that? There is another device here, right here. This is the CPE, it's called the Customer Premises Equipment. This is what your ISP will be giving you, and it's most commonly you will see it as your own router at home. Those are typically owned by the ISP. So that device is right here, and after that device we have a switch, a managed switch that is VLAN capable. That's the key here. This interface here, or you may call it a port, a switch port, will be configured to be in VLAN 150 in access mode. This means, this access mode means that it's going to be untagged. And again, untagged means that it's a default frame. So the default network on this here is VLAN 150. On this interface here, we'll have the default VLAN, which is VLAN number 1, will be untagged, and VLAN 150 will be tagged. So everything coming in here, from here, will also be transferred here. However, the traffic here will be tagged. Yeah, that way we can transfer both the default VLAN and yet another network out through to our Proxmox host. This is kind of, I just drew this like an abstract of a Proxmox physical machine. This right here would be the interface that it's facing the switch, and it would be configured like this. Yeah, there is only a single bridge, which is the default Proxmox bridge that gets configured when we install Proxmox, which is the VMBR0, and then we're using VLAN 150, and we're using the default, which is the VLAN 1. Yeah, that's the default, usually the default VLAN. The point of this whole mess is that this traffic is coming in here, and this switch port has to be in access mode and in the VLAN 150, and this is an arbitrary number. You can choose whichever one you want, up to 4000, actually to 4096, but the last I don't know 100 are not used, so basically you can pick any from 2 up to 4000. So once again, this switch port has to be configured in access mode with the VLAN that this WAN side is going to be using. Okay, so the traffic will come in here, it's going to get tagged here on this port, it's going to get again untagged on the Proxmox, and Proxmox will then have these two networks, which is one of them is WAN and one of them is LAN, like this. Yeah. And the Proxmox management interface will live here, basically on this network, and this will be connected like that. Okay, so let's configure the pfSense. One more time, the pfSense has two interfaces. One of them is tagged, the other one is not tagged. The tagged one will be the WAN side, the untagged one will be the LAN side. we press number 1 here. Should VLANs? No, we're not using VLANs on the pfSense. The pfSense itself is getting the frames are reaching it untagged. So we're not using VLANs, not on the pfSense. The tagging and untagging is happening on the Proxmox. So again, the WAN interface is this one, which is net 1, and we need to VT net 1. Okay, and VT net 0 is the LAN. Do you want to proceed? Yes, I do. So let's let it configure the interfaces, and then we're gonna configure the IP addresses, and that should be it. I'm gonna show you that it works, and yeah, the whole point the whole point of it all is that this traffic right here that's coming from the internet, it only lives inside VLAN 150. Yeah, that's what makes it secure, because this VLAN 150 makes it so that the other networks that are coming out of this switch, those are completely unaware that this is that this even exists. Yeah, any device on any of these networks, they have no idea that there's a VLAN 150 and that it's carrying public network traffic, and vice versa. So this network is unaware or any other network on this switch. So this is the point, and this is why it's secure. Now the Proxmox itself is using untagged traffic. Right here, this is the kind of the physical interface that's connecting the switch with the Proxmox. So right here we have the VMBR0, and then from VMBR0, just the same as here, we have several VLANs. So VLAN 1 is the default VLAN, and this is where our Proxmox management interface is kind of lives. Yeah, this is where it's connected to, and this network VLAN 1 is completely unaware of VLAN 150. Yeah, that's the whole point. This is again why this is secure. Now I already hear some of you saying that there's VLAN hopping and exploit X, Y, and Z. There are no exploits that are publicly known that are actually good enough to penetrate this. There simply are no. I mean, there are even videos of people showing you how they're VLAN hopping and stuff, but that's easier said than done, and it's not very applicable to real world, and especially in this case. Yeah, you have to have physical access to the network, and you have to have like so many prerequisites have to be met for you to even attempt such an exploit, that those prerequisites by themselves are a much bigger threat than the exploit itself. So I would, yeah, it's kind of saying, if you have a key to an apartment, then you can steal the stuff from there. Well, yeah, the point is that you don't give your keys to just anyone so that they can steal. I mean, I'm oversimplifying, but that's kind of the analogy here. So back to Proxmox. Okay, this is finished. And right now it's configured with the default values. The WAN interface doesn't have. One moment. Yeah, so the WAN interface is not configured at all. So we're going to configure it. That's done with option number 2. We're going to configure the WAN interface, which is option number 1. Configure IPv4, yes. We're not using IPv6 in this configuration. We don't, like I said, we're not reverting to HTTP, and that's that. Again, number 2, we need to set up or actually we don't even have to set it up. Let's jump to our VM here, and turn this off and then turn it back on, and this should work. Terminal ping 192.168.1.1. Okay, good, this works. Okay, I cannot control C here, so I have to do this. Okay, the IP address, we have an IP address that has been handed out to us, and let's go actually and log into the okay, HTTPS okay, let's try just 192.168.1.1. Yeah, it works. So this is the pfSense management interface right here. Admin pfSense. Here we go. We're in, and we will be able to see our DHCP leads here. Status DHCP leases. Here we go. This is this machine. This lease here is actually this machine. So yeah. So there you go. Ping 1111. Yeah, we can access the internet, and let's close here, and let's go to YouTube. YouTube.com. Ta-da! It works. So there you go, folks. The simple, as simple as it gets, tutorial how to do this. Although this is not again the tutorial how to actually do this. The point of this video was to actually explain why it's secure, and how to actually, once again, how to actually make the VM inside the hypervisor serve as a security device of the hypervisor itself. So yeah, there you go. Hope you have found this video informative. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. If you have any questions, comments, whatever, criticisms, go ahead and paste them in the or type them in the comment section, and yeah, see you in the next one.